Hey, what's up? I thought I'd take a moment to talk about K2 and read more dividers. So here we are on my website. It's just a typical blog sort of layout. I've got three articles or three items in my blog category. And this first one, you'll notice that it contains a list. It's got a bunch of dates throughout the week, some training sessions that are happening and meetings that are happening this week. But I've decided that I don't want my category layout, my blog, to display the entire article. I only want it to display a certain amount of words to entice the viewer to then click in and read the rest of the article. So a certain amount of words and then a read more button, essentially. So let's take a look at how you can do that. So I've logged into the back end of my website and I'm going to head over to K2 categories. Now, if you're one of my clients, chances are that I've already set this up for you, but it's always good to understand how this works because I like my clients to also go in there and sort of feel like they can actually change some of these settings. So we'll click into the category. In this case, it's called blog. Then over here on the right, go down to item view options in category listings. And this setting here, intro text word limit, I'm going to set that to 100 so that the items display the first 100 words and then it puts a read more button in. So I'm going to save that and then take a look at my website. So I'll refresh the page. Okay, that's great. It's displaying the first 100 words and then it's putting that read more button in. But my first article looks a little bit weird because I did have that list of dates that is now they're all kind of running into one another and it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense when you read it. So how do we fix that? And why is that happening? So let's take a look at the K2 item for this article here. This is a title. So I'm going to just get out of the categories, go into K2 items, and then click click the title of my K2 item and take a look at the text. Okay, so you can see here that this is actually a HTML list. If I look at the code behind it, I can see, yeah, that's in fact a HTML list. So what's happening is Joomla or K2 is essentially displaying the first 100 words and then putting a read more button in. But because there's a HTML list here, it's stripping out the code that generates the HTML list because it doesn't want to break the layout. Can you imagine a situation if it started displaying the first 100 characters, including all the sort of code that generates the list, and then after that certain point, it's putting in the read more, but is not having a chance to, sorry, a slight typo there, but is not having a chance to finish the list. That would break the website layout and you would basically have a broken website. So it's stripping out the code that would normally generate the list before it puts the read more in. So that's essentially a good thing in that it's safeguarding the website from breaking. But for us, it's not an ideal situation because this doesn't look very good and doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I've decided, I think the best solution would be to have a read more button before the list displays. And we can manually insert that by going back to our item, putting our cursor at the point that we want to manually insert a read more button. And we can use this icon here, insert read more, or this read more button down here. And you'll see that's inserted a horizontal rule. Let's go ahead and save that. And I'll refresh our website. And there we go. It's put the text in and then a read more button. And you see that all my other articles, it's putting the read more button in automatically at the 100 word point that I've dictated earlier. But for this one, it's put it in at the point that I manually wanted it, which is great. And of course, if I click through to that article, it displays as normal. So there you go. That's how the read more buttons work in K2. Hope that helps you understand that a little bit more and have fun with your website.